Good morning, children. In the last class, the chapter Enemy, we have studied that on the seventh day, fine, two things happened. Okay, the first thing was that all the servants left together. And what is the reason why they left together? The reason is that they were not in a favor of these Japanese couple. Okay, they were against of it. Why they were against? Because this Japanese couple had sheltered a prisoner, and he was an American. Okay, and Japan and America was in a state of war that time. Fine, so they were not in a favor to shelter an enemy. That's why they all left. Okay, now the two things happened that day. Okay, so first is that the servants left, and what is the second thing? On the seventh day in the afternoon, second thing happened. What is there? Hannah, working hard on an unaccustomed labor, saw a messenger come to the door in an official uniform. Now Hannah was working. She was busy with her household work as the servants had left. Okay, so what did she saw? She saw a messenger. There was a messenger in an official uniform. Okay, and that messenger was coming towards their house. Okay. Her hands went weak and she could not breathe. Now what happened, children? When she saw the messenger, she became nervous. Okay, she was very nervous after seeing the messenger. What is the reason behind her nervousness? Was the servants must have told already. She ran to Sudao, grasping, unable to utter a word. And what did she thought? That this person has as the servants, all servants had left. Okay, so all servants had left. So these servants have went outside and they have informed the police regarding all these things. Fine, but by then the messenger had simply followed her through the garden and stood there. So when she went to Sudao, this Hannah just went to Sudao to inform him that the messenger is coming in an official uniform, he was coming towards their house. That time that messenger just followed her and he was standing just next to the garden, the gate which is next to the garden. She pointed at him helplessly. Sudao looked up from his book. Now what is this? This child, okay, Sudao, he was just reading a book. So he just looked up from the book, and what is Hannah doing? Hannah is just pointing helplessly towards the man because she was very nervous, so she was unable to utter a word. So she just pointed where the person is standing. Okay, he was in his office, and the other partition of which was thrown open to the garden for the southern sunshine. And what is there? Sudhir was sitting in his office, and as soon as he opened the partition, the sunshine came inside the room. Okay, what is it? He asked the messenger, and then he rose, seeing the man's uniform. As the sunshine came inside, so for a second he was unable to see the man. He was unable to see that the man was standing in a uniform. So he just asked what it is, and when he saw the uniform, he just rose from his seat. You are to come to the palace, the man said. The old journal is in pain again. And what did the man say? That now you have to come to the palace. Why? Because the old journal is in pain. I have told you that the old journal is going through some treatment, and that treatment was taken by this Dr. Sudhir. Okay, he is only treating that journal. So this messenger just came to call Dr. Sudhir as the journal was in pain again. Oh, Hannah breathed. Is that all? Hannah said, oh, okay, you came for this thing. Otherwise, she was thinking that the servants have told and he's coming for capturing him. Okay, to arrest Dr. Sudhir. All the messenger exclaimed. The messenger said that all the journal is in pain, and you are saying that this much all. What are you saying this thing? Why are you saying this? Is it not enough? So he said that, is it not enough? Our journal is in pain, and you are saying all. So indeed it is, she replied. It is, I am very sorry. And she said that, I am very sorry. Okay, I didn't mean that. When Sudhir came to say goodbye, she was in her kitchen but doing nothing. The children were asleep, and she sat merely resting for a moment, more exhausted from her fright than from her work. Now what is there, children? When Sudhir just came to the kitchen to say goodbye to this Hannah, she was very much exhausted. She was not exhausted by the work, from the household work which she is doing since morning. Okay, she was exhausted because what had happened just now. Okay, she was so in a fear. Fine. I thought they have come to arrest you, she said. He gazed down at her anxious eyes. Now what did Hannah said? That I thought that they have come to arrest you, that this messenger has come to arrest you. I must get rid of this man for your sake, he said in a. What did Dr. Sudhav said? He said that I must get rid of this man. Don't worry, very soon we will just get rid of this man. Now Sudhav goes to the journal. Now children, before starting this, when this messenger, when Dr. Sudhav, he just went to the journal. Okay, as soon as he reached to the journal, after treating him, he just told everything to the journal. Everything means he told everything, whatever happened from last few days, whatever is happening, he just told everything to the journal. Fine. Of course, the journal said weakly, I understand fully, but this is because once I took a degree of Princeton, so few Japanese have. Now what did the journal said after listening to Dr. Sudhav? Okay, after listening to each and everything, he said that I understand. Okay, and why I am understanding this thing, that you have not helped the prisoner intentionally. Why? Because I have a degree of Princeton. Princeton is a university. So he said that I have a university in America. So he said that I got a degree from Princeton University. So it means what he is saying, the journal was saying that I am so intelligent that I got a degree from Princeton. Okay, that's why I'm able to understand you. Otherwise, if there is any other journal, so he might have just arrested you. So he said that few Japanese have this degree. It means few Japanese are so intelligent so that they can understand. So that's why I am also able to understand that if you have helped that American, that is not done intentionally. I care of nothing of the man, Excellency, Sudhav said. Now Excellency here, Sudhav is noted to journal. So he said that, sir, I didn't care for that person. Okay, but having operated on him with such a success, he said, but that man was injured. Okay, and I operated on him with success, and that was a successful operation. Okay, yes, the journal said. It only makes me feel you are more indispensable to me. So what did the journal say? That yes, I know. Okay, I know you have not done it intentionally. Evidently, you can save anyone. You are so skilled. Now, what did the journal say? That you are so skilled. Okay, that you can save any life. It means if you are going to operate anyone, you can save him or her. You can say, I think I stand one more such attack as I have today. So what did the journal ask now? That attack here doesn't mean heart attack. Attack means the pain. So he said that I have gone through the pain. What pain I have gone through today? Okay, might be I am getting another one. Okay, not more than one, Sudhav said. Sudhav said, yes, might be you will get another one also, but it's not more than one. It means that if now you are in a pain, what we are going to do? We are just going to do the operation. So what did the journal Sudhav said? That if one more time you will get in pain, you were in a pain, then I'm going to do the operation. Fine. Then certainly allow nothing to happen to you, the journal said with anxiety. And the journal said that then I will not allow anything to happen to you. Okay, his long Japanese face become expressionless, which meant that he was in a deep thought. And what was the journal doing right now? He was just thinking something, very deep. You cannot be arrested, the journal said, closing his eyes. And closing his eyes, the journal said that you cannot be arrested. Okay, suppose you were committed to death and the next day I have to have my operation. So what did the journal say? Now here the journal becomes selfish. Okay, he was saying that just think of it, that you were being arrested and you were hanged to death, and then the next day I will be in a pain and I want an operation. Then what will happen? Okay, there are other surgeons, Excellency, Sudhav suggested. So Sudhav said that, sir, if you feel that I have done something wrong, okay, I had done it intentionally, so you just arrest me. Okay, and there are many other surgeons in Japan. Fine, they can do your operation. None I trust, the journal replied. The best ones have been trained by the Germans and would consider the operation successful even if I die. And what did the journal say? The journal said that no, I don't trust anyone. Okay, the best surgeons, which are being called the best surgeons in Japan, they were trained by the Germans. Okay, and what did the Germans used to teach them? The Germans used to teach them that the operation will be successful. Okay, otherwise the patient will die, or whatever happened to the patient, you don't have to worry about it. You only have to operate him. Okay, if that person, that patient died during the operation, that is not your business, that is not your work. Okay, so this is being taught by the Germans. So he said that all the best doctors which are there in Japan, best surgeons which are there in Japan, except Dr. Sudao, okay, they have got the training from German. So obviously I don't trust them. I don't care for their point of view. Now what did the journal said? That I even don't want to take a second opinion from them. Fine, he cited, it might seem pity that we cannot better combine the German ruthlessness with the American sentiments sentimentally. Now what he said, that we cannot combine these two elements. What is there? The German ruthlessness and American sentiments. Now what did the Dr. Sudo, what did the journal mean by this? He meant that German are so rude. Okay, they only want to treat their patient. Fine, they do not have any sentiments with the patients. On the other hand, what is the American? The American used to teach their doctors that you should have some sentiments with your patient. Okay, if you have a sentiments with your patient, you are able to treat them well. Okay, so he said that I don't want to combine. I know that Americans are our enemies, but on the other hand, I know that the doctors who are getting the training from America, they are much better than the doctors who got the training from German. Okay, so that's why he was trusting only Dr. Sudau. Then you could turn your prisoner over to the situation and could be sure that would not murder me while I was unconscious. The journal laughed. Now the journal said in a humorous way. It was not in a humorous way. It was in a, you can say that indirectly he is giving an indication to Dr. Sudau that just to make your prisoner escape, I think you will not murder me while the operation was going on. He had an unusual sense of humor. Okay, as a Japanese, you could not combine these two foreign elements, he asked. Now, what is the two foreign elements here? Journal was speaking about. These two foreign elements means that you have got a degree from America. You stayed there in America for a long time. Now, I think you will not combine these two elements. It means you will not, at least you will not combine these two elements, that you are there in America, you have been trained by the Americans, so just to save that, just to feel that thing, or just you started feeling that you have to do something for the Americans and you just save his life. So he said, just don't combine these two elements. Okay, I was not quite sure, he said, but for your sake, I am willing to try, Excellency. Now, what did Dr. Sudhir said? That I am not sure that I was able to combine these two elements or not, but I will try. The journal shook his head. I rather had not been a test case, he said. And journal just shook his head and said that I am not a test case. Test case means when you are operating me, that I am not, that time I am not a test case, that you are going to test on me. Okay. He felt suddenly weak and overwhelmed with the cares of his life as an official in times such as these, when repeated victories brought great responsibilities all over the South Pacific. Now, what is there, children? The journal started feeling weak. Okay, why he was weak? There were two reasons. First of all, that he was undergoing to some diseases and he was undergoing some treatments. And the second thing is that the doctor who is treating him, that doctor had done something bad. Okay, and that too, for that he should be arrested. That doctor should be arrested, but he cannot arrest the doctor, because if he is going to arrest Dr. Sudhao, then who is going to treat the journal? So he was suddenly feeling very weak. Okay, and he had the responsibilities also. There was a war going on, so the responsibilities were also more. So he was feeling very, you can say he was in a confusion state at what to do and what not to. Okay, if he doesn't become selfish, he will lose his life. Okay, and if he is going to help that American, then also he will be in a problem. So he was now in a confusion state. That the journal was in a confusion state. He is not able to understand what to do. Okay, either I should tell the police and the Dr. Sudhao should be arrested, or I should just keep my mouth closed. Why? Okay, because Dr. Sudhao is a very important person right now, very important person for journal. Okay, because the treatment of the journal was going on. It is very fortunate that this man should have washed your doorstep, he said irritably. And what did Dr. Sudhao, what did this journal said? That this is very unfortunate that this man has washed up on your shore only, on your doorstep only. I feel it so myself, Sudhao said gently. Sudhao said, sir, I also feel like so only, that why he came to my doorstep. It would be best that he would be quietly killed, the journal said. Now the journal said that it would be best that we should kill this American. Not by you, but by someone who does not know him. Now what did the journal say? That I don't want you to kill him, but I want that someone else should kill this American. I have my own private science. Suppose I send 2 of them to your house tonight, or better any night. You need not know nothing about it. He said that I have some persons, some you can say some murderers, some people are there, okay, who used to do these things, who used to murder the people. So he said that, the journal said that I will send 2 of them to your house tonight or any night, okay. And how you have to react, he told that you have to react that you don't know anything. It is not warm. It is now warm, sorry. What would be more natural than that you should leave the outer partition of the white man's room open to the garden while he sleeps. Now what did the journal suggested further? He said that you just do one thing. You just open the partition of the white man's room. Okay, the partition which is opening towards the garden. He said just open that partition. Okay. Certainly it would be very natural, Sudhao agreed. In fact, it is so left open every night. Sudhao said, yes sir, it is going to be very natural that someone entered through the garden, and someone entered inside the garden, and through that garden he entered into the white man's room and killed him. So he said that, sir, it is obviously every night, it is now warm, so every night that partition used to be open, so it will be easy for you. Good, the journal said, yawning. They are very capable science. They make no noise, and they know the trick of inward bleeding. Now what did the journal say? That the yawning, okay, he was yawning, and he said that don't worry, they were very capable persons, and even they know the method of inward bleeding. Okay, if you like, I can have them remove the body. Sudhao considered. Sudhao considered that perhaps would be the best excellency. Now, what did the journal say? That if you want, then I will tell that persons to remove the body also. So Sudhao just think for a moment, and he said that would be best. Okay, this is the best thing. You just kill that man and then remove the body from a house also. Thinking of Hannah, and why did he agree to this? For removing the body, thinking about his wife. He left journal presence then and went home thinking over the plan. In this way, the whole thing would be taken out of his hands. And he just went home, Dr. Sudhao, and he was thinking about the journal plan, and he was thinking, now in this man, if this is going to happen, okay, if this plan works, then everything is being taken from my hand, and I am not being blamed for anything. Okay, he would tell Hannah nothing, since she would be tempted at the idea of his sons in the house, and yet certainly such persons were very essential in an absolute state such as Japan was. And he decided, Dr. Sudhao decided that he will not tell Hannah anything about it. Okay, why he is not going to tell about the plan? Because he know that if Hannah came to know that these type of people are coming into the house, what she will do, she will become little conscious, she will become panic. Okay, so they don't want that Hannah should become panicked. So he decided that he will not going to tell Hannah about it. Okay, such persons were essential in the absolute state just such as Japan was. How else could ruler deal with those who opposed them? Now what is their children? Such people are very essential. Okay, the Japan was in a state of war right now. So such people are very essential right now. Why? Because just to fight with the people like this. Okay, the armies, the police are having such peoples, okay, they do their work, and on the other hand the name of the police and the people was also not being spoiled, okay. So these type of people are necessary for Japan right now. He refused to allow anything but the reason to the atmosphere of his mind as he went into the room where the American was in bed. But as he opened the door, to his surprise, he found the man out of the bed and preparing to go into the garden. So what happened? He just went to that American, Dr. Sudhao just went to that American's room, and what he found, that American was just trying to get up from his bed. Okay, so what is this? He exclaimed. Who gave you the permission to leave the room? And Dr. Sudhao shouted that, what is this? Who has given you the permission to leave the room? I am not used to be waiting for permission, Tom said gaily. And happily, what the Tom said, smiling, he said that, I am not used to be waiting for permission, okay? Gosh, I feel pretty good again, but will the muscles on this side always feel stiff? Now, what did he say? That I am feeling better today. Okay, that's why I've tried to just get up by my own. But he said that Dr. Sudhao, where he got that wound at the back, he said that in that area the muscles are still stiff. Is it so? Sudhao inquired, surprised. He forgot all else. Now the plan was going inside his mind, but as soon as this American said that the muscles are stiff on this side, the wound side, then Dr. Sudhao just forgot everything. And now I thought I have provided against that, he murmured. And he said that I have given you something again to relax your muscles. He lifted the edge of the man's shirt and gazed at it, healing scare. Massage may do it, he said, if exercise does not. And what did he say? That I have already told you to do the exercise. Okay, now if the exercise is not working, if your muscles are still stiff, then the massage may going to help it to just relax your muscles. It won't bother me much, the young man said. His young face was gone under the shabby brown beard. Now what did the young man say? He said that it's okay, it is not bothering me much. The stiffness of the muscle is not bothering me much. Say, doctor, I have something I want to say to you. If I haven't met a Jap like you, I wouldn't be alive today. I know that. Now what did he say? That I want to say something else to you. He said that if I wouldn't met a Jap like you, if I hadn't met a Jap like you, Jap means a Japanese like you, I know that I wouldn't be alive today. Okay, Sudhao bowed, but he could not speak. Now Sudhao just bowed to him, okay, but he was unable to speak anything. Sure, I know, Tom went on warmly, his big thin hands gripping a chair were white at the clutches. I guess if all the Japs were like you, there wouldn't have been a war. And what did he say? That, sure, I know that, okay, that if all the Japanese were like you, okay, the war, there wouldn't be any war. So why the war is going? Because there was much of hatred in spite of love and care, and you have treated me, and if I haven't met you, then of course I would have been killed. Perhaps, Sudhao said with difficulty, and now I think you have better go to bed. He helped the boy back into the bed and bowed good night. Now what happened? The Sudhao said, perhaps, with difficulty, because he had made a plan to kill that. Okay, to kill the American with the journal. He had just now made a plan, and this American was thanking Dr. Sudhao for saving his life. So that's why it is very difficult for him. So, and now I think you have better go to bed. He helped the boy back into the bed and bowed good night. And what he said? He just said him good night. He just helped him to the bed and just said good night. Okay. Okay, children.